Todd Hunt from Perry's Promise, coming to you from beautiful Lee Summit, Missouri. We are T-minus 4 days and counting down to our Peru trip. We're supposed to have gone already, but we had some immigration difficulties. In fact, we had to fly to Chicago for a Tuesday appointment at the Peruvian consulate. Now, if you have a U.S. passport, you don't have to worry about that. But my wife is from Nigeria, and sometimes I think she's got to have a visa to go to McDonald's. But the only places that have them are like Atlanta, New York, Chicago, and each city takes care of a certain area. So if you're from Missouri and you don't have a U.S. passport, you're probably going to have to go to Chicago and get a tourist visa. So with that said, we are gearing up. We think we got all our ducks in a row this time, and we'll be heading out on Wednesday evening, landing on Thursday morning, and then taking another flight, then a bus, then a boat, and should be a long day, but by Thursday night we should be at the Libertad Jungle Lodge. Some friends of mine have been asking me about if they go visit, what they need to do, things to see. One thing that there might be some misconception about is vaccines. I know that's a hot topic, but if you got friends like mine, they're full of advice and light on medical school, so they're gonna say you could rub pine sol on your elbows and drink a cup of raw milk and you'll be fine. But if you want to do that, that's great. Go for it. But in addition to the vaccines, do not skip the vaccines. I don't care what your political beliefs are. For example, yellow fever there's no cure for it. You can get vaccinated once and it should protect you your whole life. You can get a booster, but it's not always needed. But one vaccine the rest of your life. Now, if you get yellow fever, 20 to 50% of the people that get full-blown yellow fever die. If 10 people get it, up to 5 will die. A minimum of 2 will die. That is not the kind of chances you want to take. So get your vaccines. Most of them are your normal vaccines, MMR, tetanus, things like that. But you should check with your doctor and check with World Health Organization to see what country-specific vaccines you need. Now, I need to get, the first time I went, I did malaria. I don't do that anymore. You have to take it for 2 weeks before you go, the entire time you're there, and 10 days after you get back. They made me nauseous, and my mentor, Mark from Texas that went with us last time, he told me he doesn't take them, and I said, oh, and you don't get malaria? He's like, yeah, well, I've had it 3 times and I felt like I was gonna die. So I take precautions to not get mosquito bit. Even though it's hot, I wear long sleeves, long pants, and insect repellent, and I've even got nets for my face. So I try and remove the source rather than take the pills because they make me sick to my stomach. I have a hard time keeping them down. Some people, they don't bother. You should try it. If it works for you, that's great. Another vaccine that I don't do is typhoid. Now, they do have typhoid there, but the vaccine, at least the oral vaccine, is a weakened form of the bacteria. And I did it when I went to India and worked there, but I haven't done it when I went to Peru. Now, they do have typhoid there, but it's related to salmonella, so you get it kind of the same ways. Be careful with chicken and make sure you wash your vegetables. All of our stuff is washed by Nancy. She's our Peruvian cook that goes with us on the boat and lives with us. She washes things in Clorox water. That's probably not the healthiest thing in the world, but I'll take Clorox over typhoid. So you kind of got to pick your battles sometimes. I recommend getting it, but I'm don't do it myself, so it's kind of an empty recommendation, I suppose. But get all your vaccines up to date, whatever it is. Typhoid and malaria up to your choosing, but do not go down there without yellow fever. Get your tetanus, your MMRs. These diseases are more prevalent in unvaccinated countries than they are in the U.S. We're very lucky here that we can go without a lot of things that you really need when you go down there. I think that we eat all this processed food, and that's why we don't live as long as we could. These people eat nothing but fresh fish and fresh fruit and vegetables, and their life expectancy is shorter than ours, simply because they don't have the medical care and they don't have vaccinations. So just gotta swallow your political beliefs and just do it, because your life may depend on it. So the animals that are dangerous in Peru are, of course, crocodiles, anacondas, jaguars, and what's the other one that everybody talks about? Piranhas. So what's interesting is when I went down there, I was kind of shocked that all these kids were playing in the river, just right on the edge, right where crocodiles hunt, right where anacondas hunt. But they don't have any problem with it. The biggest problem with anacondas is they're hard on the chickens. They love the chickens, and they'll snag them, and that's a problem for the people because they depend on those to live. And the problem with the jaguars is they eat dogs. So a big jaguar moved into Yukaruchi a year and a half ago, and it started eating the dogs, and everybody was upset about it, but it's better than eating the people, I think. So my biggest concerns when I'm down there is two things scare me to death: the local dogs and mosquitoes. Mosquitoes for malaria, obviously. It is treatable. You just got to, when you get it and get sick, you got to get to a hospital to get treatment. And rabies, same way. You've got to get to a hospital ASAP, because it is fatal. And there is a lot of dogs, and these dogs don't have collars or tags or vaccinations. They're not wild dogs. They belong to people, but they don't have the kind of protections that we have. And it seems sometimes there's 2 dogs to every person, but it's probably more the other way around. But there's a lot of dogs, and some of them are mean. So you smell different, you look different, you draw attention from the locals and from the local dogs. So be careful, don't stare them down, look away, act like they're not even there. When I've seen people have trouble down there with dogs, it's because they're afraid, and they're keeping an eye on a dog because they're afraid that it's going to attack them. Well, the dog sees that as you're staring him down, you're challenging him, and they oftentimes, which I saw it happen twice last time I was down there, react negatively and come running after the person. I had to get between the dog and the person to run it off. And the other time, a dog came after me, just a little bitty shit, and he was, thankfully his owner came out, because I was about to kick a 30-yard field goal. But as it turns out, I didn't get bit. But if I had, I'd have been on the next plane out of there. I'd have been in Lima or maybe Houston, anywhere that I could get rabies shots. Rabies shots, it's a series of 9 shots, anywhere from $5,000 to $9,000. It's expensive. You don't get quick enough, you die. It's nothing to play with. So if you go down there, just be aware of that. You know, I swim in the Amazon River with the anacondas and the crocodiles. We're just not in their food chain. They don't really care about us. Now, if you're drinking out of the edge of the river once in a while, usually it's a case of mistaken identity, but I don't sitting next to the water, but I see little 3, 4, 5-year-old kids playing in it all the time, and they don't have a worry in the world, and it's just not a problem. So I guess if I was brave enough, I could, but I'm not gonna find out. So we plan on posting some stuff while we're down there, but we don't know what kind of internet signal we're gonna have, or what kind of phone signal we're gonna have to even send emails out. So we're just gonna play it by ear, but hopefully we'll get some updates. And thanks for everybody that donated. We're gonna show you what good your money is gone to produce. All right, thanks everybody. Till next time.